Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're back at it again. Today, I'm going to be reacting to a different type of video, ABBA and Preach, and just switching it up, of course. I do think there's an interesting conversation to be had here. I try to react to things that have implications for a larger narrative, so it won't just always be politically centered, even cultural, social, just conversations that can open up the overarching discussion, if that makes sense. And I do think this YouTube beef could be one of those. Shout out Alba and Preach, of course. You already know who they are. I don't really need to plug them. So let's dive right into it.
So from what I understand, this guy's a live streamer, and the other guy's also a streamer. The one who's about to blast.
Pop, pop, pop! Ah! Are you kidding me?
She grabs the camera.
And does what? Film?
No. She also gets murked.
Damn. Man's and girl gets murked. It's hard for me to buy that there's a justifiable reason to do something like this, especially in broad daylight in the public. But we'll see how this plays out.
Most of them passed.
What the fuck is going on?
This happened on the Strip in Las Vegas near the Bellagio, so a lot of people actually heard it. They were all posting about it. What had happened? Turns out it was two streamers. Sunday's murder of a husband and wife stems from an online beef between the two YouTube streamers arguing over, among other things, copyright infringement.
You took someone's life over copyright infringement? You took someone's life over the fact that someone's using your content? Now, of course, I understand the idea of, he's stealing your bread to an extent. It depends on the severity of the copyright, but regardless of what the reason is, that is not a justification to kill the dude and his wife. Let's see if this video has more context with this situation.
So,
Is that it?
Finney the Legend, that's the guy who got shot, one of two shooting victims, and fellow streamer Sin City Manny, that's the guy who was the shooter, had argued for several months. The video appears to show the two trolled each other, disagreed, and had lengthy conversations over the course of hours on a myriad of streams and sometimes different social media handles. Sin City Manny, whose real name is Manuel Ruiz, will appear in Las Vegas court Tuesday morning. He faces 2 charges of open murder. Yeah, he has been arrested. I know he was on the run, but
41-year-old killing someone over an internet beef. We're losing the plot. Imagine all the visceral disagreements that happen in the political landscape and even like the cultural and social landscape ending with someone's life getting taken. That would be wild. That would be anarchy at that point. It's okay.
But they did find the guy.
The fuck? I went through every fucking casino there is. I heard there's one of my biggest fans here in fucking town. I'm dying to see him.
This is hours before the shooting.
I'm dying.
Oh man, streaming culture is taking over. Now, obviously there's a lot of intrigue to see how people live their everyday lives, right? Being a bystander on what people are doing in the natural habitat. I mean, that's why zoos exist, for example. So at any point to allow people to one of two things: escape from their own reality by living through something or someone else, or two, be a spectator. Well, honestly, just one thing, just escaping from reality. That's why a lot of people love doing this stuff. Or their life is just kind of mundane and they need some excitement, a new thing that they currently are not experienced, so they can experience it through the TV screen. That's another way things can why people like to watch people. And it's like this is as people as you can get, I guess, right? I always hate stuff like this.
Dying to see him.
This is hours before the shooting.
He's going away for life, as he should.
I mean, any streamer who kills somebody's going away for life.
As he should.
Because these motherfuckers stream their own setup for the whole murder.
But that's like premeditated. They're gonna
Premeditated. Yeah.
premeditate.
We're
Premeditated.
doing fuel bar tonight? I'm fucking there, homie. What's the fuel bar without the fuel?
The dude's whack as hell. I'm not gonna lie. Grown ass man dressing like this, acting all tough, man. Hey, go take care of your kids. How about that? Go take care of your family. Go be a positive example in your community.
Someone said, "Is that dude chewing his water?"
You always
And
look
then,
toughest when you
someone else
chew.
said, I think he's coked up, which for Vegas makes perfect sense. Listen, killing anybody over YouTube stuff is really stupid.
Yeah.
Let's just get it right off the top. These people take themselves way too seriously online. It's my copyright. It's like, okay. And then they talk to their viewers about how angry they are and how much they want to go harm this person. It's like, not only are you guys so fucking fragile, but at the same time, you're really the dumbest fucking criminals because you're announcing to the world, hey, I'm thinking about hurting this person.
Hey, that makes it super easy for the police and investigators, though. You know, they don't have to try too hard to find the evidence that they need.
Meditated, okay, congratulations. So there's a history of Manny, the guy in this video, copyright striking his stuff. And as retaliation, the guy who got shot said that he had footage of Manny cheating. So that's just some of. And as retaliation.
Video type, who said my channel was going away? Video URL. Looks like I'm guessing this guy was just reacting to his content, kind of similar to what I'm doing right now.
The guy who got shot said that he had footage of Manny cheating. So that's just some of the back and forth between these two.
Blackmail. Hey, you better let me react to your content, or else I'm gonna show people that you're a serial cheater. I'm gonna ruin your credibility. I think people undermine how common this is. The use of blackmail is such a strong tool to use against people, especially if they have to keep an image. I mean, that relates so much to what celebrities, to even politicians. A lot of people assume that Jeffrey Epstein and the reason why he was able to do what he wanted is because he has blackmail of so many different people doing some crazy stuff. So blackmail is a very powerful tool. I do think it's an evil tool. The only people who blackmail are not good people. You ain't gonna find a good person that blackmails, because if someone does something bad, just report it. Why are you blackmailing them? Why are you keeping it so you can use it to control them? If they're bad for a bad action, just expose it. But you know,
people. Ain't it funny? You try to protect your work by doing copyright infringement, and now
you're not working no more for the rest of your life.
I tell you, man, criminals are really fucking stupid.
Facts.
They will lose 1,000% more with their crime. Think about how dumb this guy is. He walks by, he sees the camera set up, meaning this is recorded, and it's being probably streamed because the other guy's a streamer. That's how he found him. He walks into the frame where the shooting happens, and all this. It's obviously not to protect its work. It's because the dude has a fragile ego, can't handle it, and then does the most dumb thing possible. But
yeah, but that was gangster. And
gotta
the
look
footage
cool.
that they said that they had about him is never gonna come out. So he's winning. He stays gangster,
can't copyright claim me if you did.
and we know who's the real G.
And he killed the wife. That means the one who grabbed the camera shortly afterwards, after he kept blasting him, he turned the camera on her because you see the camera shake and fall. I think you just start shooting her right afterwards. So y'all killing each other over 5,000 sub channels?
No. No.
So you made a video about this guy a year ago.
What up, YouTube? Happy Tuesday, motherfucker.
You made a video about killing each other over
5,000 subscribers. And this guy does fantasy football. 5,000. Bro, people want to be important so bad. People want to. I need to see the amount of views on that dude's live stream. I need to
some
see it. I
channels-
need to see it.
No.
So he made a video about this guy a year ago.
What up, YouTube? Happy Tuesday. My fault. My day's all jacked up, but quick video. Woke up this morning. Shout out Sin City family. They got our last 2 videos taken down. It don't matter. We're gonna keep doing it. But this time I'm gonna ask y'all, can y'all subscribe to the new channel? Sin City Finney on YouTube. I'm a part of the family now. I'm the Black Stab Child. Manny accepted me in. Manny got the other videos taken down. I didn't do it.
The dumbest beef I've ever seen.
Sin City Manny West has 14,000 followers. God damn.
Just to give you guys context, like when you're in that range, you're looking at making 1,000 to 2,000 a month.
Yeah, I guess it really just depends on the amount of views you get. But yeah, it's really not that much, especially enough to kill someone over $1,000. Now, to be fair, this is not justification. I'm just highlighting a more human trait versus the internet trait. We know for a fact that there are people who would die for the stupidest of things even before internet personalities became a thing. Right? How many times have you heard the idea of, yo, you step on my shoe, we're gonna have to fight, or some shit like that? Or you say something about someone's girl and like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to take your life. All of that. Dumb. Meaningless. Has no value. Materialistic. Like, all of it is pathetic. Protecting someone, I do think is a worthwhile to fight for. But there's very few things where you got to take someone's life in current society, at the very least in American society, where it's like worthwhile. Was this worth it? And now that we have internet personalities, it's just inflaming something that already existed. And on top of that, it's getting reinforced more. Now, before you would have a slew of close friends, a clique, a gang, so to speak, that will, pump you up, go like trying to instigate you to do what you got to do, right? Now you got people around the world who don't even know you directly trying to pump you up. So yeah, it's just inflaming the worst parts of humanity, being completely honest.
Depending on how much you post and how your monetization works, you're not looking at much. These guys killing each other over peanuts. I mean, there's no number that's worth killing. Like, it could be millions, and I'm still not shooting nobody.
No, but I would understand if it was million. I'm not. It's not saying that. Oh yeah, there's a number that we get it. It's just that if you're battling over, not even 1,000, it's not gonna affect you. You're gonna keep on doing your thing. You killed someone over 1,000. It's like if I stab someone over $20.
Yep.
You shouldn't stab someone over, but $20. Yeah, it's gonna make it worse. 100%. It's not like there's a lot at stake. You just decided to unalive someone for what? For nothing. For literally nothing. No, it is a difference. You have a sentiment of nobody knowing you at 2 million followers. At 5,000, literally nobody knows you.
The thing is,
Facts.
you just have more to lose with more. That's why I'm saying, like, I actually think the poor version there's nothing to lose.
Yes.
Like, think about it, right? Let's say you have this beef, right? Think about this.
Right?
They ruin your YouTube channel where you can't make more money. You're still walking away with millions. Why would you give that up to go fight somebody?
I understand, but
Do you
have
know what I'm
also, you are always big on the potential of things happening, right? Well, and having that channel, we don't know. You're also throwing the fact that you can potentially make so much more. So you don't have a lot to lose now, but maybe eventually with a lot of work, that channel would have potentially blew up to be millions, and you're throwing that shit away.
I would just say, like, you already have so much. You probably have your own place, probably have a bunch of money just from all the stuff that you've made. It's just like you going to jail throwing millions away because you didn't get to make more millions.
Yeah.
To me, that sounds much more fucking stupid than 2 poor people who got nothing killing each other.
Fair.
But I get what you're saying.
But it's just dumb.
It's like you took 20 from me. How about we say this? It's all fucking stupid. But me personally, if somebody took my YouTube channel, would I be bothered? Absolutely. Would I be thinking of revenge? Not in my new condo. Just not saying. I'm just not doing it. I'm just not doing it. I can go on vacation a couple times this year. I don't know about y'all. I'm riding to the sunset, going to Turkey, get my teeth redone so I can look stupid, and then that's it. Poor niggas fighting each other, I can understand. Rich niggas don't really fight each other.
My lip busted. Fuck.
It's like rappers.
All the rappers in the club.
Right. Aren't rappers exponentially more fucking stupid
Yes.
than
I mean, I think that's an interesting conversation. There's a weight to this conversation. Like, there's two factors to consider: the amount of loss versus the severity of consequence. Basically, what I mean is, like Abba said, you're gonna lose more if you're like super successful. You're gonna lose millions and millions of dollars reacting to something versus something. Oh man, all right. I need to stop playing Madden while I do some of this content, man. My mind's all over it. I just like to, y'all know how it be. You like to do other things to keep your mind engaged, right? But then there's severity of consequence, which is the type of action that happens and the severity of it. Like someone stepping on your sneakers, is that worthwhile taking out someone's life? Now, for the most part, if you combine the two, it's very easy. A rich person who kills someone over stepping on sneakers, extremely dumb. But a rich person, doing something dumb over, taking millions of dollars away from them, versus someone doing something dumb to them, and then they only lose like a couple $100. Severity of consequence versus scope of loss. It's all stupid though. It's all dumb. It's all ridiculous. It's all materialistic, right? We always try to preach this claim about ensuring that we look beyond the material gain, but the material world. But so many people are just so bought into it and care more about their image than other people's lives.
the people who are on the block kill each other over a street corner. They're all fucking dumb. We agree.
Yes.
But it's like, nigga, you made it out and you going to lose everything.
We agree.
Oh, okay.
We agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I've seen a lot of people kill themselves or kill each other over social media posts. You know, the online world, I guess, for some people is more real than real life. And so they're willing to do things in this world for the digital plane. It's very hard to not get incredibly emotionally invested if you don't.
I wouldn't say the internet world is more real than real life. Just to kind of coincide with what I said earlier, it's just inflaming a characteristic that some people already have, and that is wanting to feel important and or wanting to feel like your life has meaning. A lot of people go in no direction, make terrible mistakes, and then they're at like a dead end, and now they are able to feel more important compared to how they're usually living their life. Because the way you can feel important in your normal community is having a certain type of job, of course, or just being fawned over by your local community. But now we're in the internet age, it's much easier to feel more important, even with a couple of 100 subscribers. Just imagine a person gets like 20 likes on their post, they go like, oh man, they care about what I have to say. That happens. So they want to keep that image. It feels like they're actually doing something worthwhile to these individuals, even though at the end of the day, all that stuff is kind of meaningless. Let's keep it 100. I feel like you only have true meaning when you're doing something not in favor of yourself, but in favor of 1, your family, 2, your community, or 3, for humanity as a whole. You know, I believe in selflessness. So yeah, it's just people want to feel important after their lives is so miserable.
Don't have a life. And I think what I just kind of come to grasp is that for a lot of these people, that they're so consumed with this online world and the emotions and the dopamine they get from the likes and the interaction, that this is everything. Like, people ask me, like, how come you don't get bothered by YouTube comments when people are hating or people reviewing your stuff and hating? And it's just like, because I go outside often.
You touch grass.
I go do hobbies and activities in real life and nobody cares. Not a damn fucking soul. Nobody cares.
What do you mean? You mean that this online thing is not a reality?
Literally, when I go out, 95, like when I go to most events, almost nobody knows who I am.
I definitely hear that. I interact quite a bit with a lot of people that don't know what I do. I don't even talk about like the different things that I'm part of. Even some of you guys who are watching it, although I do think my image here is very important as I continue certain messaging to change the course of these type of conversations. But I'm into sports, as you can tell from my background. I'm into anime, manga, nerdy stuff. Um, I've been because of COVID, I got fat as hell. Been in the gym grinding that. Been very in tune with that. Getting bigger, getting more fit, trying to lean out. There are so many different things that I do, and people just don't care. But I will say that because I'm in the political sphere, especially the online political sphere, it can blackpill you a bit on how society is. When you interact with your friends, it's like, oh yeah, but politics at the bare minimum correlates so much with like what is going on in society. So it's more than just internet stuff. So I can understand how that can radicalize some people and blackpill some people. I always try to put things into context that you can't give up hope or you're just going to let the other side win. As well as one thing that I constantly do, so I don't go insane. It's not because I don't go insane, but another thing that I do because I don't want to just do politics stuff all the time is I do talk about this other stuff. I do talk about sports. I have a sports podcast. I'm very knowledgeable when it comes to the NFL, the NBA. I do like to go to the movie theaters and watch movies. I plan to watch How to Train Your Dragon, the live action movie, this weekend. I do watch anime. There's some really good anime coming out right now. 2BRX is very good. Obviously, some popular manga that I read every week. One Piece, for example. Freaking fantastic. Amazing. I'm currently watching Game of Thrones with a friend right now because I've never watched it before. Please don't spoil me. I'm only on season 4, 5, around there. So I try to do a lot of different things to just live life. Like I do the politics stuff because I deem it important. There's a level of joy in terms of debating and being analytical and problem solving, but I do it because I deem it important for my life and for society. But I always, one core thing that I always attribute by, maybe some people will resonate with this, I always abide by the idea that people should enjoy life. Even if you're religious, not religious, you should enjoy life. Not at the expense of other people, but you should live the life to the fullest. You should live your own life to the fullest for you. Now, some people don't know what those enjoyable things would be. They think sometimes it's very materialistic like this. But that's a conversation for a different day. I won't harp on it too much. Let's continue the video.
One,
Yeah.
nobody, and the people who do, they don't care enough to be like, oh, I'm up to date with the latest. Truly, you guys are throwing your lives away over people who won't remember you for more than a minute. You won your stupid prize. This was senseless. It was probably one of the dumbest crimes I've seen. This is the dumbest one this year for sure.
I feel dumber right now just watching this.
Okay, actually, this is a separate conversation. What do you think? I saw someone bring this up. They talk about men's egos being very fragile.
Yeah, it is. I believe it is.
And I will say, I don't know if I necessarily agree that that's true, but I will say, I think people's egos in general are fragile.
Yes.
I just think that men, when their egos are hurt, they turn to violence.
Yeah, often.
Women will do the whole rumors thing. They'll talk shit. They'll do all that stuff. Men, they get the strap. Or they go and beat up that person. What did you say? And they go to that. Now,
I don't think it's necessarily a men thing. But proportionally, you could probably attribute it more often to men because even women are prone to violence depending on the type of woman you're talking to. But ultimately, I get the sentiment he's referring to.
some
I'm
people
not.
might think that's better, but when you live in a country with so many guns, I don't think it is.
It's not even so much that men's ego fragile. Everybody's, like you said, everybody's ego is fragile.
Agreed,
It's just that
agreed.
we're more efficient at violence, and that's not necessarily a good thing.
I don't even know if it's efficiency.
No, but
Because I don't think these women even go up to like fight each other.
We are more. I disagree. Some women go up and fight each other. We are more surrounded by activities of violence. Like there is more of an intrigue for a man to care about boxing, UFC, to care about freaking guns in general. There's a more proneness to those things. You can relate certain things to animalistic instinct. I won't do that here, but For sure.
What I mean by efficiency is just that it's brutal. It's brutal. You go sometimes the beat up of someone is gonna be more brutal and it's gonna be because people are gonna get hurt. It's just that's what I mean by efficiency, but it's not efficiency. It's just we go to violence. Which is the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. When you say efficiency, it just sounds like men are better at violence, which I agree. But my point is that
we're better at violence than women.
I agree, but the point isn't that like women are not as good as it. Like they're only slapping each other. In my experience, when women have these kind of ego-related stuff, most of the time it doesn't turn to violence. It turns to like a lot of shit talking, a lot of like rumors, and a lot of like, oh, I'm saying these horrible lies about you. That's very common. We see it online all the time. When two female creators are beefing, it's just like, and they start going at each other. Now, I'm not saying either of these things are good, but if you think about it, in a country with guns, which one would you rather have at your doorstep? You know, like these dudes really showing up to each other's live streams with like straps.
I'd rather someone say that, oh, Preach has a poo-poo head.
Or he's gay.
Well, that's,
You do gay shit with your wife. But with that in mind, I don't think, I do think men turn to violence too often.
Yeah.
They think that violence is just a solution to most of the
we
stuff.
spoke about that.
We have?
Yeah.
I think this is evidence of that.
100%. I think you're right.
And the funny part about it is, it's true because even if you take this whole sequence of events to its like logical endpoint, it doesn't make any sense. So he was copyright infringing on your work, therefore you're upset and you want to protect your work and your brand. So you go on camera, you murder him so everyone knows you're a murderer, which ruins your brand and your work. And now you're in jail for the rest of your life. Can't make a dime. Explain to me. Here. Where we get from, I'm upset about him hurting my job and my work, so now I'm in prison, workless, and I'm gonna be there forever so I can never have a job. How did you get to
There's no logical conclusion there. It's all emotional reaction.
these two things? Make a line and think that shit makes sense. Well, I'll wait for it. And that's why whenever people tell me about it, I'm gonna just roll up, you're an idiot. Anything else you want to say?
No. So I don't see the correlations. That makes sense. But I'll sleep on it.
You guys let me know.
One plus one is not equaling two.
What?
Would this be considered a responsible gun owner?
I knew you was about to go there. Well, I mean, he did take his. He didn't have his finger on the trigger unless he had any intention of shooting. So, I mean, what are we talking about here?
Shooting into a crowd of people, I wouldn't consider, a responsible.
Did he hit the target?
He did hit the target.
Okay, so what are we talking about? Yes, he is.
If you're gonna use a gun, especially to try to kill a target, generally speaking, you should try to make sure that in terms of line of sight, there's no one behind the other person.
Well, maybe he has hollow bullets, hollow points, hollow tips.
I will say he did get his 2 targets.
So what are we talking about here, Abba?
I mean, just because it didn't happen, don't mean you're responsible. I just want to be a little petty, but yeah.
Hey, if you don't risk, there's no reward. He took the risk, now he has a reward. Which reward again? I don't know, but he won. That's what's important.
That's right. If you don't kill nobody in Russian roulette, you're responsible.
Thank you. Now you're starting to get it.
My bad.
Jeez, it's like fucking talking to a wall here.
I'm just saying.
Abba Preachers, I enjoy what they got to do. I like how they are more nuanced thinkers. That's why sometimes I watch their content. Not all the time, but sometimes I do. And they provide a more humanistic relatability that's different from political commentators like not even Asmongold, but like Destiny or like Hassan or Temple.
The only reason why I was bringing this up is like whenever people think of responsible gun ownership, they always think of the person who goes to the range, cleans their rifle. But there's also this retard.
Yeah,
and there's many retards just like this.
That is definitely
right.
Oh,
and
you got that
I'm
right.
telling you, because people DM me after the previous video and they're like, "There's not a lot of people who want to use." Yes, there are. There are people who fantasize about wanting to use their gun. Some people for heroic reasons. Some people just are amped up. But there's a lot of gun owners like this. They exist.
Yeah, a lot. These are terms that have no true validity or statistical backing, but ultimately the idea that you're assuming that people do not or do, or no, mostly do not, is incorrect. It's not hard to find examples, especially anecdotal ones, of people who love firing their guns and people who fantasize of the idea. I mean, there was this funny skit I saw recently of this guy, his house is getting robbed, and he grabs every gun in his apartment, and then by the time he comes down, everything is gone because he took too long to grab all his guns to finally get in a fight. Finally, because just like I said before, people want to feel like their life has meaning, and being in a gunfight to protect your own, you know how much pride people feel knowing you know how much meaning? That's a story they can tell forever. Oh yeah, I'm a guy who took out a robber. I'm a guy who took out a criminal using my guns. Come on, people are gonna feel very good about that.
This, I'm telling you, I see videos every day of road rage incidents where people pull out the strap.
Yep.
All the time. People get a, what'd you say? And they start reaching right away. Crazy business. But I digress. That's a little sidebar. I won't stay there. What do you think? Any other thoughts about this thing? Him going to jail, the murder charge, what he did on camera, anything else?
Dance World is stupid as well. We had some incident happen in Dance World. People trying to act like gangsters. And you're like, yo, you dance. Calm down. You move your butt to music. Calm down. Sometimes human beings really just fucking surprise me every time. I think like, oh no, I've seen everything. I've seen the dumbest shit. Killing someone over posts is
It's dumb. I agree. Shout out Alvin and Preach. You guys know where to find them. Like the video. Good video. W video. Let's go to the comments a little bit. Why not? YouTube nuke Sin City Man Wise channel. I mean, that should have been a no-brainer, to be honest, especially since the PR around it would be terrible. You're missing the big picture. He wasn't making enough money through YouTube to pay rent, bills, and food. Now he's in prison, never has to worry about expenses. That's all. Oh, that was a good one. I believe that was good. That one, funny as hell. You know, I've thought about this before, and I've seen skits about this too, but I feel like if you're homeless, right, you have no interest in working a job, you have no family, you have no friends, you don't really care about anything, you just want a place to sleep and stuff to eat. I feel like going to prison wouldn't be, let me chill. Anyway, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Y'all have a good one. Take care. Peace.